In a realm where shadow dances with splendour, and truth wears a cloak of gold and fire, there lies a tarot born of dream and light, a prism of archetypes, reflections and revelation. Crafted by the visionary hand of Erik C. Dunne and guided by the voice of Kim Huggens' pen, the Tarot Illuminati is more than a deck. It's a temple of wisdom dressed in jewels and silk. Over the years, this sacred mirror has evolved, reborn in gilded edges and gilded insight, each edition a new passageway into the same eternal flame. But what has changed, and what remains divine? Today, we journey through these layered dimensions, comparing the incarnations of this radiant tarot deck to discover which version sings most true to your seeker's soul. Welcome to the world of the Illuminati. Hello my ducks, it's Simon here. Welcome back to the Hermit's Cave. How is everybody doing? I'm filming this, so I'll schedule it to go up I think on Wednesday. But so yeah, by the time you're seeing this, it will be midweek. And I hope everybody's week is going well. So yesterday I took delivery of this little parcel from Cheryl at Oneness Emporium, featuring the new, as you'll have seen from the intro, in the new kind of low scarabeo decks, where they're giving this extra special treatment to some of their older decks in these two-part, what do they call them, like telescopic boxes. Let's just have a look at the, we've got a couple of new ones. Look at this, Celestial Body Jupiter. So this one is Harvest and we have Man. So these are the Witch's Runes. I've got Harvest on the top there, look. And you can see that it's the same design. And I'm collecting them because Cheryl puts in these little extras. And she's working on each of the Witch's Rune cards. So we have Man here as well, which is again linked to the symbol, the man male symbol. So they're cool. I shall add them to my collection with the others. But a little bit of a journey with Tarot Illuminati. This was my first copy. Which I've had for quite a while. Or was it actually, now I'm thinking about it, whether it was the set. So I've got the set. I also have Tarot Apocalypsis. In fact, Tarot Apocalypsis I got before I got Illuminati. Then I gave it away and then I ended up buying it again. One of these is going to be in order, which is that one, from when I've done a Throwback Thursday. But of course, when they've released them in these big boxes as a set with the book, which is by Kim Huggens, or Huggens, I think it is, they do tend to be nicer, thicker cardstock. So, as you'll see from this version, with the thickness of it, compared to the set, the kit, I should say, it's much thicker. The backs are the same. I'm going to bring the camera down a little bit so we can have a close-up look, and then we'll look at the new version. Okay, the deck that's in the kit seems a little bit bright as well, doesn't it? It's also borderless, whereas this one had the black border. Cardstock isn't that great on this, but it is matte. As you can see, it's a matte cardstock, whereas in the kit, it's glossy. You can see the pure ring there, the ring light, whereas here it's more like a muted glow. But yeah, and the size difference as well, because these are quite small cards. Those Scarabeo do tend to do small cards, but they were the same height, length, but the borderless version, which is glossy, is in this wider format. So, I mean, again, depending, because some people don't like matte, don't like gloss, they prefer matte. Some people might prefer this. I would imagine with the thinner cardstock, it's much easier for riffle shuffling, if you're a riffle shuffler. I did hear about some of the edges here being chipped and scuffed quite easily, and I could see that happening anyway. This is a deck that divides opinions as well. Love it or hate it. I know Kelly Bear often talks about, it refers to it as the deck it's visual vomit, because there's a lot going on in a lot of these cards. But as she said, it's a brilliant reader, and it's popular, so much so that, you know, it's got a new lease of life. So you see how vibrant these are as well, the ones that were available in the kit. You see what I mean about there's a lot happening. You have to really sit with some of these images, but it's a great deck. So let's take a look at, we'll put that version there, we'll put that version there, and then we'll have a look at the new deck, which is this one. And it was released 5 days ago, or certainly in the UK anyway. It was released on the 8th of May, and we're now on the 13th of May. I might have actually brought the camera down too close actually, so let's just take it a bit better. We've now got sirens going off, of course. So yeah, so this is the new edition, and if you buy some of the more premium low Scarabeo decks, you'll see that quite a lot of them are now coming in this this two-part sturdy box. They did it with a few of their vintage decks as well. I'm trying to think if I've got one to hand that I could illustrate, but nothing's jumping out at me at the moment. So, but I'm sure you're familiar with them. And as I said, they're like a kaleidoscopic, telescopic. Get your words out. Oh, there's a beautiful smell then when I just push that back down. There's a waft of air and it smells, oh, beautiful, like new books. Lovely illustrations all around the outside. We've got our hermit here, and it says Illuminati Tarot. Yeah, I've often heard it referred to as Tarot Illuminati as well. So Illuminati Tarot or Tarot Illuminati, whichever one you want to. In fact, actually, looking at the design on the big box and on the little tuck box, they're both referring to it as Tarot Illuminati, whereas on this one, it's Illuminati Tarot. So that's interesting. Even on the top here, Illuminati Tarot. So whichever anyway. So on the inside, it's a sturdy box. It's painted black. And then we have the back design, slightly different colours, etc. on the inside. Now, the gilding. There were some versions of this deck that had gold gilding. I remember now, I bought the set first. And then I bought this because I heard that there was gilded on these versions, and neither of mine have gilding on them. So I was like, I feel a bit miffed. I've got kind of two very, same deck, just difference in cardstock and design, neither with gold gilding. Well, now we do, and that looks like a chunky beast. How does it compare with the kit? So with the kit, it's even chunkier by a significant amount. And then when looking at, they're going to topple, aren't they? Maybe not if I hold it like that. Looking at the tuck box. So yeah, quite a significant difference. Paper band, I approve, better than plastic. Doesn't damage the cards. We've got a little book, Illuminati Tarot, compared with the big glossy book, but you know, I've got a choice now of which one I want to use. Or even in the tuck box, it's I got very bashed because tuck boxes, when you're trying to cram cards back in your tuck box, just a little multiple language, Scarabeo type little white book. All the cards are beautiful and matte. Oh, I'm excited. So this is the little book. Again, it's a replication really of the little white book because it's got multiple languages in it. As you can see, there's no images or anything. But with having this book, that doesn't bother me because, you know, I've got a nice big book with a huge full page for the majors. So yeah, so I'm happy either way. This has really improved in terms of the production quality. So it is gorgeous matte cardstock. I mean, that type of matte cardstock, which is lovely. This is the title card, Illuminati Tarot. So it really has rebranded rather than Tarot Illuminati. Erik C, Dunne and Kim Huggens. These are the backs, which look like more in keeping, because I think they've had to squash this design in to be able to fit it on the original. So it's more in keeping with the glossy, but look at the difference there. Gloss, hardly any shine. That is how you can really tell the difference on camera, hopefully. Beautiful, nice cardstock. Gilding is gold, and it's a nice gold. It's a yellow gold. Let me see if I can get the full on the other one as well. I'm not going to do a comparison all the way through because, you know, we know this deck. I just want to highlight in this video what you get. So if you are, you know, somebody who already has this deck, you really do have to weigh up, don't you? Is it worth me getting again? I would say it is if you're not a fan of glossy, sticky cardstock, or you weren't happy with the borders in the original. Then I do think that this is a nice version. We've got a new font as well, as you can see here. So the original font on these two, and then we have this font here. It's borderless like this one. It's exactly the same size as the one that you get in the kit. And I don't know if that means that they're out of print now, the other two versions, and this is the only version. I wouldn't have thought so, because this tends to be more of a premium edition when they do them in these sets. So key features, I suppose, of this edition: it's a premium edition. It comes in that sturdy hardcover box with a lift top lid, and that just gives it both a sense of durability but also a luxurious feel. the enhanced card quality of cardstock is really nice. So these are obviously 78 cards printed on high quality cardstock, which feature luxury gilded edges, which just enhances the deck's overall aesthetic and appeal, really. Larger cardstock if you'd only had the tuck box version. I do think, actually, I noticed it more with that. The line work and the detail seems to be sharper and crisper having it on, let's see if I can find it here. They're not all in order, so I don't want to be going through all the decks. Having it on this matte cardstock really makes the images clearer and crisper. This is a really nice version. So, I mean, if you have got the Illuminati, Tarot Illuminati, and you're more than happy with it, then this isn't a must. If you come into this deck for the first time, you're watching this, you've never heard of it, then you're coming at the right time, because this is a beautiful version. And the deck maintains its original vibrant and intricate artwork. It draws inspiration from various cultures and traditions, very much in the same way as Tarot Apocalypsis, its sister deck. And the whole point of Tarot Illuminati is its emphasis on light as a central theme. And the idea of it is that this deck should guide users towards enlightenment and self-discovery. How beautiful that card is. I've always loved this Judgment card. And Our World. And then we go into our minors. I do find that some of the images, particularly on some of the faces, have that sort of photorealism. See what I mean? Almost like it's a collage photograph that's been photoshopped. Which, when you think about how long this deck's been out now, there was quite a lot of that sort of Adobe Photoshop type decks, like Sacred Circle, etc. Very blue, watery cups look for our Courts of the Cup suit. Love this Ace of Pentacles. Oh, this is really nice. It feels great in the hand. The cardstock, in terms of, because sometimes when you get a matte cardstock, they can be a bit cardboardy. This isn't. This is a nice, smooth, but that, you know, that cardstock that's matte that you just like want to make that swishing sound with. It's really, really gorgeous. And I like the idea of Lo Scarabeo taking some of its back catalogue of the decks that were popular and breathing new life into them. I mean, it was never a deck that had multiple languages all around the outsides or anything like that. But I have heard that they are bringing out a lot of their older decks that were popular and giving it this sort of premium new lease of life, shall we say. A premium facelift. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? That luscious green grass. That reminds me of going up to the tour. I wouldn't want to carry all that though, going up to the tour. Beautiful. And our final suit is the swords. That's beautiful, isn't it? Gorgeous card. So for me, this is by far the nicest version, just purely for its overall aesthetic. And I don't know, I think having it borderless and having it matte, the busyness of it feels less. Because sometimes you can look at some of the images, it's like, oh, wow, you know, I need to take a step back from this. They always put this card in, don't they, Los Scarabeo, into all their texts. But yeah, I'm really impressed. I think it's lovely. I love finally I've got an Illuminati Tarot with gold gilding. I know, it's about the little things. Where have I put that little book? Oh, little book's okay. It is updated. It says from the other little book with the tuck box version. But for me, if I'm going to be using a book for Illuminati Tarot, then I want to have this version, which has got a lot more in it. But overall, really impressed. Pleased to have it in my collection. I think it is the one I'm going to go to when using this deck compared to the other two. But, you know, let me know your thoughts. What do you think about old decks that perhaps get a little bit overlooked over time? Being given this new lease of life and being brought back into production or back onto people's radars. I think it's wonderful because it irks me when decks go out of print. I understand that very often publishers will have a limited print run, and therefore once that's done, they're not going to print another mass amount. But it's always a shame. And this deck wasn't out of print, but you know, with having a new lease of life, it should prolong its longevity. Hopefully. And I hope they do it with more of their beloved decks that perhaps over time get a little bit dog-eared and battered. All right, thanks for watching, everyone, and until next time, go in peace. Namaste and blessed be.